Hey guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning back in, and if you've come from another one of my videos, an even bigger welcome. Always love having my subscribers here every single week and month to check out these videos, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do, because there's a lot of value in these videos. Before we get started, hey guys, it's Iyer, your Calgary Realtor, and if you have any questions about the Calgary real estate market, if you love a realtor who's going to be data-driven, and guide your decisions based on where the market is at and not apply a general strategy that's just used at any time, make sure you reach out. Links in the description. Let's book a call, get the hi hellos out of the way. And I love having those chats with you guys. Understand where you're coming from, what your goals are in the real estate market, and what you're looking to achieve, because then we can design a custom plan to you. There's no one size that fits all. So getting into apartments for the month of April. Let's see at the end of April what has happened in the Calgary real estate market when it comes to apartments. So apartment condominiums have seen a price increase of $8,500, bringing it to $346,200, which is a 17.7% increase year over year. Now, looking at the summary from the Calgary Real Estate Board about apartments, I'll only go over the highlighted points. If you would like to read in more detail, make sure you pause the screen. So year-to-date sales is 2,761 units, which is a gain of 24% year over year, more than any other property type. And apartments now represent 30% of all resale activity. That is extremely high. And this has only been possible due to the high amount of new listings that are coming on market. However, inventory levels remain nearly 13% lower than last year, and are 35% below the longer term trends. So year over year, supply declines are driven by lower price segments of the market, which for apartment condominiums in units priced below 300,000. So below 300,000, that's the affordable range, and that's where all the inventory is being absorbed by the buyers, and we're seeing huge declines in inventory. As far as the specific stats for apartments go, total sales year over year, we can see last year we were at 734, now we are 822, so that's 11% gain. Our sales volume is 294 million. New listings, a 10% increase, very close to the sales increase. So it brings us to 1,050. In terms of the months of supply, that's where there's a big difference. Last year we were closer to 1.5 months of supply. Now we are at 1.16. So that's a 22% decline. As far as the sales to new listings ratio goes, still pretty close to last year, because last year was also very competitive for apartments, and we're pretty much painting the same picture this year over again. Sales to list price is at 100.6, so over 100 this year. Days on market last year was 27. This year we're at 23. Our benchmark price is at 346,200, like we discussed. The median price is 330,000. And our average price for all apartments that are selling is 358,609. Last year, we were sub 300,000. As far as the year-to-date sales go, the year-to-date sales is 24% higher than last year. Our new listings is only 13% higher. So overall, as far as the inventory goes, we are still 13% lower than last year. Our sales to new listings ratio is at 79%, still pretty tight, but nowhere close to being around the 85% mark. But our months of supply is down to 1.18 year to date, and that is a decrease of 30% as compared to last year, leaving our benchmark price at 334,375 for year to date, an increase of 18%. Looking at the apartment stats by different areas, which is very important depending on where you're looking at, because every quadrant and every community operates differently. Depending on the demand of supply for those communities, you'll see different price increases. So taking a look here, as we can see, our sales, new listings, and inventory across all the different communities, so you can tell where it's going to be more competitive. But to focus here on the amount of price increases that we have seen, the biggest gains for month over month is City Center and East. Month over month for City Center is 2.93%, and East is at 3.13%. So $10,300 for City Center and $7,700 for East. As far as the biggest gains year over year, we can see in Northeast, 71,600 year over year. So that is the highest we've seen. And of course, Northeast was the cheapest when it came across all of Calgary. They've seen the largest increase in price. As far as the least amount of increases for month over month is Northwest and West, but still pretty good. Now taking a look at the benchmark price and how it trended over the last 1 year. Sitting at $346,200, we are seeing a $52,100 increase year over year since last April. And if you were actually waiting since Jan 2023, you would be looking at an increase of $73,000. So if you did buy in Jan 2023, that's the increase roughly that you'd be looking at in terms of the benchmark price. And if you didn't buy and you're waiting on the sidelines, waiting for interest rates to drop, that's the price you're paying. And clearly it's more than 2 down payments. So you got to make a decision if it's really worth waiting on the sidelines, or do you want to get into the market right now, get these gains, but also be able to refinance later. As far as where are these apartments selling in terms of the different price ranges, you can see last year the sales were concentrated between $200,000 to $350,000, with more sales happening also around those price ranges. This year we have shifted one bracket higher to $250,000 to $400,000 as the main areas for where all these sales are happening. The only segment where sales far exceed 2021 and 2022, so highest for the past decade. So all other property types pretty much haven't been able to surpass 2022, but this is the only property type that has managed to do that, and we are far above the 10-year average. As far as listings go, the new listings is above the 10-year average, but again, not nearly enough to keep up to the demand, especially in the affordable part of the market, which we're talking about is sub 300,000. If we take a look at the inventory versus sales and the price, benchmark price, apartments maintain the trend that we have seen since Jan, and it's currently showing no signs of slowing down. The surge in inventory this month, though, compared to the amount of sales that is happening, could possibly lead to a little bit of a slowdown, but only to the extent that we've seen in other property types. So it's just going to be a change in trajectory potentially, but as you're going to see in the next graph, there are other factors that would maybe continue driving the price up at its current pace. So here, taking a look at the average versus median versus benchmark price, you can see there's a huge increase in the average price for this month. And so potentially this could be the support levels and just keep pushing the benchmark price higher. So what would happen next month? Let's see. Right now, we just have that 1 month data that is raising a few questions, but once we see 2 or 3 months, we will know a trend. But again, waiting on the sidelines is extremely expensive, and trying to speculate on when you should enter the market is not a good decision. And so if you like this kind of information, you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, reach out to me. My contact details are in the description. I would love to have a chat with you. Depending on where you are at, what your goals are, the game plan might be very different. And whether you're planning to buy in the next 3, 6 months, or even a year, let's get started now. Decide what's best for you, because depending on whether you're upsizing, downsizing, or moving across markets, plan might look very, very different. I love having those conversations, and all of my buyers find that extremely, extremely useful, especially if you do not have an inner perspective on the different communities and how the Calgary market operates and where you should be buying a property in Calgary depending on your lifestyle. Let's have those conversations, and stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you again. Take care.